Why have the Russians created this global maritime power? The answer is here. Today, says Gorchkov, we have a fully modern navy equipped with everything necessary for the successful performance of all missions on the expanses of the world oceans. Naval forces can be used, and in peacetime, to put pressure on their enemies as a type of military demonstration, as a threat to interrupting sea communications, and as a hindrance to ocean commerce. The flag of the Soviet Navy now flies over the oceans of the world. Sooner or later, the West will have to understand that it is no longer master of the seas. What is NATO's answer to that? It is simple. We do not claim mastery of the sea, but we do not intend to surrender our right to use it. So we maintain maritime forces which are adequately equipped and trained to deal with this massive threat.
They do so within 3 NATO naval commands across 14 million square miles of salt water. The commands are restricted to the seas and oceans defined by the North Atlantic Treaty, the Atlantic, north of the Tropic of Cancer, the North Sea, the Channel, and the Mediterranean. A constant watch must be kept not only on the surface, but of still greater concern on what is moving beneath. For the Soviet Union now operates the biggest fleet of submarines of any one nation in history. 2 world wars have shown what a few subs can do to small merchantmen, and there are no prizes for guessing what scores of fast nuclear boats could do to the modern giants. Their protection begins with maritime air surveillance by several NATO nations. Americans, Canadians, British,
that's right,
Italians, Portuguese, Norwegians, Germans,
Kontakt mit Boje 4.
and here, a Brigade Atlantique of the Royal Netherlands Navy. She's 10 hours out from home base at Valkenburg on the Dutch coast, with another 8 hours to go. On board 256 Alpha Tango Lima, the navigator makes a new position fix every hour, while the 12-man crew eats, sleeps, and works in watches. As a matter of routine, they log every surface vessel they see, but their chances of catching modern submarines on the surface are practically nil, so they must listen for them underwater.
Increase speed, stand by to drop next buoy.
They drop long-range marker buoys that float in a pattern above the submarine to listen and to radio back to the aircraft all they hear. Once localized, the sub is boxed in with a series of shorter-range sonar pingers.
Stand by to drop pinger 2. Now, pinger 2 away.
These pingers give more precise details of distance, direction, and speed. The hunt is a matter of skill, electronics, and the finely tuned ear.
That's a very weak drawing on 2. I go pinger 4. Range pinger 4, 500 yards. High Doppler. Submarine closing, buoy 4. Range pinger 6 is 600 yards. Doppler 0. Submarine tracking 120. Roger pilot, turn over port shaft to 120. Cloverleaf.
Alpha Tango Lima will continue the search. Throughout, she is kept in touch with her task force, one of several that NATO can deploy. Such forces include ships like the latest nuclear-powered guided missile cruiser, the USS South Carolina, perhaps the most powerful unit of her type in the world. Backbone of these task groups are the carriers. At sea throughout the NATO area, like those of the 6th Fleet in the Mediterranean, they provide the heart of NATO's seaborne deterrent. Should war ever come, substantial forces of nuclear-powered submarines capable of devastating attacks with long-range ballistic missiles would be made available to Allied maritime commanders. The most unusual and indeed unique force under NATO command is the Standing Naval Force Atlantic, Stanav Forlant, in continuous commission since 1967. The squadron maintains a permanent international presence in the North Atlantic. 8 nations: Canada, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and the United States rotate their ships and force commanders so that a maximum number of units and crews gain experience of working as a multinational squadron. The Standing Naval Force Channel is a similar force of smaller ships that deal specifically with the threat of mines. We rejoin Alpha Tango Lima. She's still in contact with other aircraft assigned to the chase, and with the ships of the squadron also engaged on tracking down the submarine. Hours later could come the decision how to attack it.
Contact bearing 070.
Possible submarine, sir.
Come hard right, 110. Action mortars.
Submarine within range bracket, sir.
Fire mortars.
When the Dutch frigate Isaac Spheres pinpoints a submarine, it can use its helicopter to deliver the torpedoes.
Your outfly factor 140.
Dat is begrepen, brug, koers 340.
Two bloodhounds, settings 15454590.
Ja, dat is begrepen.
Roger, factor starboard 150. Half a mile to go, stand by to drop.
Nog een halve mijl uit.
Roger, standing by.
Drop. Now. Now. Now.
The shadow on the sea is our old friend. All patrol aircraft can put other units onto a submarine, but they can also attack directly.
Open the bomber doors. Select the torpedoes. 2 torpedoes will be dropped. Range Pinger 4, 300 yards. Range Pinger 6, 500 yards.
Final targeting will be done on the magnetic mass of the submarine.
Stand by for the attack. Gravity attention.
This boom, behind the tail of the aircraft, detects variations in the magnetic field below. When a vital split-second reading betrays the mass of the submarine, the operator will codename it MAD.
Madman! Drop the speeders now.
This, of course, is what should never happen in earnest. NATO's job is deterrence, not to make war, but to prevent it. These men are ready and able to defend the Great Highway. And because the lifeline of the West depends on the free passage of thousands of ships, they remain on station, year in, year out.
Stuur 180. 180.
En dan krijg je de rust op.